All right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Aquath that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shabab Mwam back at you with another lesson. And what I want to go into, little quick hit, all right, is going into Luke, all right, Luke the 16th chapter, starting at verse 19. All right, I want to go into the Rich Man and Lazarus, all right, and I'll grab a couple of scripts to back it up, and then that'll pretty much be it. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So basically it says where we're at 16 and 19. It says, there was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. All right, which is really going into the rich man is going into the 13 bloodlines. All right, going into Esau. All right, going into these elites. All right, which they were clothed in purple. All right, purple. I believe it goes into power and royalty. Okay, and it's basically it says that they fared sumptuously every day, the rulership that they have in their kingdom, basically. Okay, it says, and there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, all right, which Lazarus is a representation of Israel. It says, which was laid at his gates full of sores. Okay, and the sores are a representation of the curses that our people are constantly upon. All right, like the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. You see, our people to this day, all right, are under heavy curses. All right, until we get up out of here. These curses are going to follow us, basically, like it tells you in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, that these curses will follow us and overtake us till they have basically destroyed us. Okay, and it says, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Okay, moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. All right, the dogs are represent the other nations. All right, which all these other nations have had their hands in the cookie jar when it came to our slavery. Okay, and it says that they licked his sores, which basically all these other nations had benefited from us being on the under the curses. Okay, it says, and it came to pass that the beggar died, all right, and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom, all right, which that's going into the kingdom of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. It says, and was buried, and in hell, okay, he lift up his eyes, being in torments, and seeing Abraham far off and Lazarus in his bosom. Okay, going into again the kingdom of heaven, having rulership and us being comforted. Okay, it says, and he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. All right, going into the curses being exercised, okay, on Edom, on Esau. All right, is it says, but Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime received thy good things, likewise Lazarus evil things, but now he is comforted and thou art tormented. All right, and that's what's going to eventually happen. You see, the curses are slowly coming up off of our people. All right, and these curses are going to be put on these other nations, especially Esau. All right, and all these other nations are going to go into captivity under the rulership of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You see, it says, And besides, let me see. Yeah. Let's read that again. It says, "But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in my life, in thy lifetime, received thy good things." Yeah, because Esau, all right, in this society right here, this is the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, as the scriptures say. So in this lifetime, Esau is receiving everything that he wants. Anything he wants, he gets. He has the blessing of the fatness of the earth. He has the blessing of the sword. All right. And when you have those two blessings, you have power over everything in this society. You see? So all the days of his life, he's lived good while we had to suffer captivity after captivity. You see, but now we're at the end of that rulership. All right, as the scriptures tell you, all right, because the wickedness of Esau, all right, that the kingdom is being translated from one people to another, right? Because of unrighteous dealings, all right, injuries and riches gotten by the sea, the kingdom is translated from one people to another, all right? And when that kingdom gets translated, it's going to be under the rulership of Yahushai forever and ever. There is no body that's next. There is no other nation that's coming up next. Because you got these nations thinking that America's going to fall and they're going to take up, going to be the big dog next. No, Yahushua is going to be the big dog next. Okay. Big brother Yahushua is about to take this place out. All right. And he's going to demolish this place, man. And then we're going to be under the rulership of Yahushua, King David going down to the 12, all the way to the 144,000, all the way to the 1/3. All right. The men, women, and children that are believers. Okay. And basically, these devils are going to wake up in slavery. All right. As the scriptures tell you, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So because all these other nations have had their hands in the cookie jar, all right, there's only one thing for them to go into is captivity, man. We've been in captivity under all these different nations, and especially Esau, all right, which he's going to be the last one to be found. We're going to be found in his hand. Okay. They have to reap what they sow, you see. And it's gonna, as the scriptures say, it's gonna be a righteous recompense. Okay, it's gonna be a righteous thing to recompense those that troubled thee. Okay, so basically it's telling you how we were at the bottom of society and we just wanted the crumbs, all right, of these nations. Okay, but eventually, all right, the Lord was gonna take us up, beam us up into them chariots and take us away from all this misery, you see. And then when these devils wake up in their captivity, that's what they're going to serve, 1,000 years of captivity, which is going to feel like it's forever for these damn devils. And one of the things I always remember when I read this the scripture of the rich man and Lazarus, when Rothschild died not too long ago. What was that? About 2 years ago he died. Okay. And the Apostle Tahar did a beautiful lesson on that, basically telling you when he got judged and got put to death, he went to the spirit world. And Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, gave him his judgment. He told him, listen, man, you lived good on this earth. You did what you were supposed to do. Okay? But now when you go back and you wake up, okay, and you be reborn, you're going to be in captivity, you see? And that was why the Lord allowed him to have everything on this side, because this was his side. This was his world, man. You see, but the world to come is for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai and the elect. All right. And all these nations are going to bow down before Yahweh Shai, man. All right. They're going to be ruled by the true king forever and ever. As the scriptures say, the saints shall take the kingdom forever and ever. All right. So, as a matter of fact, let's grab Jeremiah real quick. This is Jeremiah 30. This is Jeremiah 30, and let's just grab it from 4. All right. because Jacob's trouble is gonna come. All right, but I might as well just read this whole chapter because it's juicy, right? So it says, I'll take it from 4. It says, and these are the words that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man does travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into the paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Okay, and we can't wait for that time, man. And that's right around the corner. All right, we're already in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. All right, this is why, the northern kingdom has been catching pure hell. All right, getting snatched out of their houses, taken to FEMA camps already. Okay, and the southern kingdom is next. All right, Judah is the target now. Okay, and they're about to catch heavy hell. You see. And it's all spiritual, everything goes. All right. The fact that Northern Kingdom already started catching the hell first, is the same thing how in the scriptures they went into captivity first. Northern Kingdom went into captivity, and eventually Judah came right after them because they followed after them. You see, they followed. So it says, for it shall come to pass that in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. It says, but they shall serve the Lord Yahweh, their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. Okay. For I am with thee, saith the Lord Yahweh, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations, whether I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of you. But I will correct thee in measure. You see, and this is why we were given into the hands of our enemies, okay? Because we were, committing spiritual fornication, all right? We were making sacrifices onto devils, as the scriptures tell you in, let's grab that real quick. This is, one second. This book is falling apart right here, literally. Let's grab that real quick. One second. I got the old scriptures today. These things is falling apart. This is Baruch 4, and I'll take it from the top. It says, this is the book of the commandments of Yahweh and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take heed of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. O Israel, happy are we for things that are pleasing to Yahweh, and may Salakia. Let's read that again. O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to Yahweh are made known unto us. Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved Yahweh to wrath. Ye were delivered unto your enemies. For we provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. You see? So that's why we had to go into captivity. That's why we were always given into the hands of our enemies, man, because the wickedness that we were constantly doing, man. And one of the main things that we were doing was committing spiritual fornication. Okay. As a matter of fact, let me grab that. Uh, how's that scripture go? Let me grab that. I believe it's in Wisdom of Solomon. I'm grabbing it from my phone so I don't lose my place. This is Wisdom of Solomon. Come on. For the devising of idols. For the devising of idols, KJV. For the devising of idols, KJV. Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 12. It says, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. You see, that was the corruption of life when it came to our people, man, because they started to believe in things that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai told you to stay away from, man. You started to follow after the ways of the heathen, man. Okay, so let me jump down a little bit. As a matter of fact, let me read that again. It says, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. For by the vain glory of men they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end. You see? So it said, let me just jump down, right? At 27, it says, for the worshiping of idols not to be named is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil. Okay, so that's why we were given into the hand of our enemies, man. That was the main reason, on top of the rest of the wicked things that we committed that fell right behind it. All right, but when you start to worship these other gods, man, you depart from your maker, man. You begin, as a matter of fact, you begin to grow in pride, and pride is one that makes you depart from your maker, as the scriptures tell you, man. All right, which I believe that's in Ecclesiasticus 10. Yeah. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Might have not been time. Pride is when one departeth from his maker, KJV. Yeah, I was right. Ecclesiasticus 10 and 12. And it says, the beginning of pride is when one departed from Yahweh and his heart is turned away from his maker. You see? So we started to worship on these other gods and follow after the ways of the heathen. All right. And eventually we grew in pride with that, man. And that's how we became, departed from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And then what did he do? He punished us. All right. And we had become discontinued from our heritage to the point where we didn't even know who he was anymore, man. We didn't even know who our power was no more. We didn't know who to call upon anymore. You see? And that's why the Lord, put us into the hands of our enemies. Okay. So let's go back. All right. To Jeremiah I ended up losing it anyway. I was trying to hold it with my hands and I ended up losing it. All right. There you go. This is back to Jeremiah 30, and I'll take it from 10 again. It says, therefore, fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity, and Jacob shall return and shall be in rest. Okay. Once Yahweh Shai comes and takes this devil out the way, we're going to be in rest forever. Okay. And be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. For I am with thee, saith the Lord Yahweh, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations. Whither I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of you, but I will correct thee in measure. And again, that's what the Lord has been doing, man. All right. He had to put us into captivity. He had to punish us in order for us to be corrected. All right. How can you know what you did wrong, man, unless the Lord does correct you for the things you did? You see? So it says, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. All thy lovers have forgotten thee. You see, all these other nations that we were following up, they forgot about you, right? It says, all thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy. And that's why, like the scripture said when we was reading about Lazarus and the rich man, all right, that we desired the crumbs, all right, and that us being under the curses, the other nations profited off of that. You see, it says, there is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. All thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. You see? Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto thee. Therefore, all they that devour thee, and see, this is explaining how we, right, are going to put these other nations in captivity, man. It says, therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. All right. And you know this is future, because you'll see none of our people having any of these nations in captivity, man. Now, our people did rule for 1,000 years, okay, and that was just for a little bit, okay. But eventually we fell back off and started to do what we normally do. You see, going back to worshiping other gods. All right. We ruled for 1,000 years in the dark ages, man. All right. But we fell away from that and went right back to worshiping these other gods. And that's why the revival of the ancient Roman Empire came back. All right. The Lord allowed them to come back into power. You see? It says, therefore, all they that devoured thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. You see? And that's what's about to happen, man. We served our time. We served our captivities. We went through 7 different captivities, man, which 7 represents completion, a complete number of captivities, a complete number of ass whoopings, man, by the Lord. All right. But this time, all right, all these nations are going to have to submit to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And when they wake up, all right, they're all going to be in captivity, and our people going to be in the kingdom forever. You see? Under the righteous rulership. All right, with the righteous mindset forever. That's why we're going to be able to live forever, because the wages of sin is death. All right, so we're not going to sin anymore, man. We're not going to have wicked thoughts no more. All right, it says, for I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Because heal us from those curses, basically. All right, were they not licking the sores? All right, it says, for I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord Yahweh, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places, and the city shall be builded upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving, and the voice of them that make merry. And I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. And their nobles shall be of themselves, and their governor shall proceed from the midst of them, and I will cause him to draw near. He shall approach unto me, for who is this that engaged his heart to approach unto me, saith the Lord Yahweh? And ye shall be my people, and I will be your power. Behold, the whirlwind of the Lord Yahweh goeth forth with fury, and continuing whirlwind, it shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. Okay? And that's them being taken out of their rulership, man. You see? The fierce anger of the Lord Yahweh shall not return until he have done it, and until he has performed the intent of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it, man. And we're almost up out of here for that time, man. All right, as a matter of fact, let me grab Lamentations, right? Matter of fact, let me just grab it from my phone right here. This is Lamentations. I'll grab Lamentations 4 and 21, I believe. And I'll grab Isaiah 61. All right. And this is Lamentations 4 and give me 1 second. I'm just reading a little bit. Yeah, I'll take it from 21 down. It's only 2 verses. This is Lamentations 4 and 21. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. Okay, yeah, and that's now. Yeah, rejoice. Live it up. Okay, because your rulership is done. You see, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is about to take you out of the way. All right, so while you're still here ruling, okay, enjoy it and rejoice in it. All right, because once you're out of rulership, ain't no more rejoicing. All right, you're gonna wake up in torments. Okay, excuse me. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, thou that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shall make thyself naked. All right, being exposed, basically. The punishment, now this is going to our people. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. See, no longer are we going to be able to suffer no more, man. We ain't going to have to go into no more captivities, man. All right, we served our time. All right, it says, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. Okay, meaning Esau and the rest of these other nations, man. All right, but it's going into Esau right now. It says, he will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Okay. Everything is being exposed now. This is the time, as the scriptures say, Esau can no longer hide himself. What is that? Jeremiah 49:10. All right. The Lord, let's grab that real quick. Jeremiah 49:10. Prophecy against Edom. I start at 7. It says, concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of the Dan, for I will bring the captivity, the Salakia, the calamity, Salakia, the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. If grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough. But I have made Esau bare. You see, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. You see, so we're at the time that Esau can no longer hide himself, man. He can't hide the things that he's done, the atrocities he's committed. All right. The pure wickedness that he has put on this earth. Every single thing of Esau is being exposed out here, man, along with the rest of these other nations. That's why our people are waking up, because now it's too much information going out, man. You see, the Lord has exposed all that. All this information that comes out is because the Lord allows the information to come out. You see, and because he's at the end of his rulership. All right. This is why everything is coming to the light. Right now, going back to where we were, let me read that again. Salakia. Lamentations 4. I'll take it from 21 again. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. All right. So these devils are gonna wake up in captivity, and they're gonna build the waste places, man. The places that they destroy, everything they destroyed, they're gonna have to rebuild all that, man. You see, under the rulership of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And as a matter of fact, let's grab that, and I'll end it with that. Like I said, Isaiah 61, right? Give me 1 second, I'm just reading it. Let's take it from the top. It says, the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. And this is what we do. We preach the good tidings unto the meek. Okay. That's who's preaching the good tidings? Who's preaching the good news? All right. Yahweh's prophets, man. Lord willing, we are those men. All right. They're constantly out there on the highways and hedges, letting you know who's your true enemy, rolling that red carpet out for Yahweh Shai, right? It says, he has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted. Yeah, because the Lord broke us down to bind us back up stronger. Okay. It says, as a matter of fact, let me grab, I think that's in Hosea 6. Yep. This is Hosea 6:1. Come and let us return unto the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, for he has torn and he will heal us. He has smitten and he will bind us up. After 2 days will he revive us, and the third day he will raise us up, and we shall live in his sight. And we're on that third day, man. You see, because all the men of the Lord are actually waking up and they're bringing out this gospel, man. They're singing that song. Okay. So let's go back. It says, Isaiah 61:1, the spirit of the Lord Yahweh is upon me, because the Lord Yahweh has anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound. All right. And who's the ones that's captives? Us, man. And we're what? And we're in those bodies of captivity, man. Those everlasting chains of darkness. Okay. It says to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord Yahweh, and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord Yahweh, that he might be glorified. And they shall build the old wastes, they shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities, the desolations of many generations. And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers, man. All right. And these other damn nations, they're gonna rebuild everything that they destroyed, man. You see, being under those captivities. All right. It says, but ye shall be named the priests of the Lord. Yeah, because we're all what? All right. We're all priests under the order of Melchizedek, as the scriptures say. It says, men shall call you the ministers of our power. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory ye shall boast yourselves. You see, we're not supposed to boast ourselves on this side, man. We're supposed to wait, all right, till the Lord take these damn devils out, all right? And Yahweh gets praised first. You see, Yahweh gets all the boast first, and then we get to boast ourselves in the faces of these Gentiles, man. You see? It says, for your shame ye shall have double, and for confusion they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore in their land they shall possess the double, everlasting joy shall be unto them. For I, the Lord Yahweh, love judgment. I hate robbery for burnt offering, and I will direct their work in truth, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them. And their seed shall be known among the Gentiles, and their offspring among the people. All that see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed which the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai has blessed. I will greatly rejoice in the Lord Yahweh. My soul shall be joyful in my power, for he has clothed me with the garments of salvation. He has covered me with the robe of righteousness, as a bridegroom decketh herself with ornaments, and as a bride adorneth herself with her jewels. For as the earth bringeth forth her bud, and as the garden causes the things that are sown in it to spring forth, so the Lord Yahweh will cause righteousness and praise to spring forth before all the nations. All right. So, hey, that's pretty much the lesson right there. Lord willing, the lesson was edifying. So, with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.